Hello family, thank you so much for tuning back into my YouTube channel. I am Shoni and we continue to feed the spirit. Thank you so much for showing your hunger and your interest on the word of God and wanting to learn this word of God with me, of course. So today I want us to grind. Let's grind, let's munch on the temptations. Very interesting topic, of course. How do you deal with temptations? How do you get to conquer the temptations? How do you behave when you're tempted? And what are these temptations and what are they here to do? And where are they from? And can anyone really escape them? And yeah, let's just grind a bit about them. But remember, on this channel, we don't grind just grinding. We grind using the word of God, of course. So let's go to the word of God and let's understand this temptation. So firstly, let's read in the book of Matthew chapter 26 verse 41. You will know that in this chapter, that is when God gets anointed in Bethany, and but I want us to focus on the prayer in the garden, his last prayer that he has had with his disciples. So on 41, he was actually giving them these kind words, of course, that says, watch and pray lest you enter into temptation. And they end up saying, I can see that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. But I want you to watch and pray so that you do not enter into temptation. So Jesus is aware that there is temptations that are gonna come in that you might fall and enter into. But he's saying, watch and pray lest you enter into the temptation. So here we are learning that temptations, okay, they seem like there's something that will always happen. But he's saying, watch and pray, or else you fall into temptation. So this is showing us that by watching and praying, what is to watch? Be awakened, be aware of your space, be aware of your environment, be alert, be sober, be responsible, watch, and then pray, lest you fall into temptation. Be aware of the conversations that are happening around you. Be aware of the actions that are happening around you, because you might find yourself falling into the actions and doing what others are doing, which might be contrary to the word of God. So, but again, I'm interested in how they are describing temptations here in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, like 13, because that's where they're saying, no temptation has overtaken you except such is common to men. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but with the temptation will also make a way of escape, that you may be able to bear it. So when I read this, I'm like, oh, okay, this really makes sense, because now we are understanding that the temptations that are coming to us as humanity, they're not from God. And then who are this temptation coming from? From whom are they coming from? We know that they're coming from the devil. It is his utmost key activity to tempt the people of God with evil, to recruit them to join evil. And we know that he is going to bring everything he can, because of course he wants the people of God to be on his side. But I like the as it continues here when it says, but you know what? God will not allow the devil to tempt you with what you will not be able to bear. When it comes to this part, to be honest, I get to be happy, because the devil is packaging a temptation somewhere and is deploying it to you. But before he deploys, he doesn't just deploy. He doesn't just bring anything that God knows you will not bear. Meaning that there are so many temptations that the devil may be bringing that God knows you will not bear, and that he doesn't allow them to pass through. He allows those that he knows you can bear. But another question is that, do you know that when you get tempted, you can bear them? Do you know that you can bear? Because if you don't know that you can bear, it means when temptation comes, you're already on your knees. You're already lying down. You're already restless. But here, the word of God is saying when it comes, it will not be beyond what you can bear. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm really wired, right? God has really put things in place within me. And he trusts me that no matter how much the devil tempts me, I will be able to bear. I'll be able to pass through. As it finishes here on 1 Corinthians chapter 10, 13, it says, but with the temptation will also make a way of escape that you may be able to also bear. So there's also a way of escape. So that means when I get tempted, I face the temptation because I am able to bear. I deal with it. I face it eyes to eyes, head on, because I will be able to bear. I don't get intimidated by temptations when they come. And again, now, when it comes, I became conscious of that there is a way of escape. So for me, I take my direction away, my focus away from temptation. Then I get to focus now on the way of escape that it is written in the word of God. So for me now, I devise means to escape that temptation, ways to escape that temptation, because I am able to bear it. So there's no way, a child of God, that you'll be able to be consumed by temptation while you know this word of God, while you are equipped to bear, while you're equipped to be able to identify the way of escape. God has given you those skills to be able to notice that, okay, for this temptation, this is how I'm going to get out of it. This is how I'm going to escape. And you really need to use that escape. Unless if you're really enjoying suffering on that kind of temptation, which you are not supposed to give in. We are not supposed to give in here. Because when God saw that temptation, he says, she'll be able to bear it. He'll be able to bear it. It means if you are a married woman or a married man, you are able to bear. When you are getting all those extra marital proposals and affairs, you're able to say no. So that just means if ever you are a youth and you're getting tempted by all this kind of temptation, there's other stealing exams, cheating and all those kind of things, you can bear. And if you are tempted, you're seeing the money that is not yours and you're tempted to take it, the way of escape is not to take it. So this is why I love the word of God, because it teaches you how to maneuver this life, how to get about this life. It gives you a problem and it gives you a solution. You just have to keep watching and pray so that you don't fall into those temptations. So watching and praying, it actually muzzles you up. It actually makes you to be in a position where when temptation comes, you'll be able to bear. But if you don't watch and pray, lest you fall into that temptation because you are just not ready, you are not even wanting to serve God, you just want to serve the flesh or serve the devil. So please, I want you to go and read this word for yourself and tell me, how is this word talking to you and how do you get to conquer your temptation and what are the temptations that you once faced and all that. Let's communicate. Let's not be ashamed of the word of God, right? But let me stop here for now and we'll meet in the next episode. Goodbye.